Integrations, using threat intelligence feeds. Threat intelligence feeds are made to gather data about possible threats and quickly match this data with the network activity observed by Malcolm. In this video, we will cover Introduction to Threat Intelligence Feeds, Configuration of Threat Intelligence Feeds, Defining and setting up threat intelligence sources, and Viewing and investigating threat intelligence data.
Before we proceed with configuring the threat intelligence feeds, note that neither Malcolm's development team nor the organizations funding its development endorse any commercial product or service, nor do they attest to the suitability or effectiveness of these products and services for any particular use case. Any reference to specific commercial products, processes, or services by trademark, manufacturer, or otherwise should not be interpreted as an endorsement, recommendation, or preference.
Introduction to Threat Intelligence Feeds. There are both free and paid services that provide real-time threat intelligence feeds, with indicators of compromise including IP addresses, URLs, file names, email addresses, and hashes and domains used by malicious actors. These feeds are updated frequently, sometimes hourly. Malcolm's ability to subscribe to threat intelligence feeds allows up-to-date threat indicators to be automatically updated and integrated on the fly into Malcolm's instance of Zeek in order to inform you of potential threats observed in network traffic.
Configuration of threat intelligence feeds. Let's get started on setting up our threat intelligence feeds. This is done during Malcolm's configuration, which is covered more in depth in the Configuring Malcolm video. During Malcolm configuration, answer yes when prompted. Configure pulling from threat intelligence feeds for Zeek Intelligence Framework. Next, answer yes to the question. Pull from threat intelligence feeds on startup. This will cause Malcolm to update its internal list of threat indicators immediately upon startup. Using cron syntax, we'll specify how often we want periodic threat intel updates to occur. For example, hourly, daily, or weekly. For this example, we will be using daily. After configuring the frequency, we will be prompted to specify the threat indicator since period. This refers to the window of time from which we want to pull data. In essence, we are indicating how recent we want the threat indicators to be for them to be used in analyzing network traffic. It's possible to specify a fixed date and always request data from that point onward. However, it's better to use a time frame relative to now, which can be provided in human-readable format like 3 days ago or 1 week ago. That way the threat indicators are always fresh compared to the current date and time. The next prompt, Intel, item expiration timeout for intelligence items, asks if we want to set the feature that allows automatic expiration of threat intelligence items after a specified time. The default setting disables expiration, keeping all items until the next refresh. For this example, we will be using the default setting.
Setting up threat intelligence sources. Malcolm doesn't include any pre-configured intelligence feeds, but you can easily add them to a local instance. Connection parameters should be provided in YAML files corresponding to the threat feed transport protocols supported by Malcolm, STIX, TAXII, MISP, and Mandiant. For details on the format used for these configuration files, see the Zeek Intelligence Framework section of the Malcolm documentation. After configuring the feeds, restart Malcolm to begin receiving them.
Investigating threat intelligence data. Now that Malcolm has been restarted, from the Malcolm landing page you can access the intelligence feeds by navigating to dashboards. We won't be discussing how to filter these tables and charts on this dashboard. For detailed information on filtering, please watch our Malcolm video titled Dashboards, Queries, and Filters. In Dashboards, adjust the search time frame to the desired data range. Then we can use the Zeek Intelligence dashboard to view indicators of compromise. In this example, our network traffic contains almost 8,000 instances of a potentially malicious indicator from our threat intelligence feeds. The Intel Indicator Type table identifies the types of suspicious indicators observed in your network traffic. As traffic flows through the system, it will compare observed IP addresses with the threat indicator IP addresses, and do the same for URLs, domain names, file names, and more. The Intel Scene chart further breaks down the indicator types for more context, showing us where it was detected in our traffic, such as in a DNS request or in web traffic. Like all dashboards, you can configure an automatic refresh period so that the visualizations always reflect the most up-to-date data. Now let's look at the Intel source table. This isn't the source of the potential malicious entity in the network traffic. Rather, it indicates the threat intelligence feed from which the indicators of compromise originated. The Intel source IP address and Intel destination IP address tables present the originating and responding IP addresses of the traffic in which the threat indicator was observed. The Intel MIME type table displays the file types associated with observed threat indicators. The acronym MIME is another way of saying file type. These file types could represent plain text files, shared libraries, compressed zip files, and more. When examining the details of an individual Zeek Intel log, you may notice that some threat feeds provide a URL that can lead you to more information about that indicator. For example, as this log was generated by the Mandiant feed, it took us to Mandiant's page with more details about this particular piece of malware.
In this video, we demonstrated how Malcolm uses threat intelligence feeds with the Zeek Intelligence Framework to cross-reference threat indicators with live network traffic. For more information on this or to view Malcolm documentation, check out the description section for links to the Malcolm GitHub site, a Malcolm discussion forum, and more.